Hey everyone, Spider-Man 1991 here, where today I'm going to be doing a video about Old Man Logan. I'm not just going to review the graphic novel slash story arc, I'm also going to be talking about how this story arc could work as the final Wolverine movie, because Hugh Jackman I think he's basically said that the story arc that they're probably going to do is Old Man Logan. And So, first half, I'm going to be talking about the original story arc by Mark Millar, and then I'm going to talk about how I think this is going to work as a movie. Okay, so let's get into the actual comic book story arc, Old Man Logan. I basically consider this story the Dark Knight Returns of the Marvel Universe. Basically, like if I had to say, if there was a story written by Marvel that I would consider very similar in tone to the Dark Knight Returns, it would be Old Man Logan, because it basically involves an older former superhero who at the beginning of the book seems a little empty. And although there is differences, I mean, in Dark Knight Returns, Bruce Wayne, he was basically burnt out and pretty much looking for a good death. But in this story arc, Logan, he's basically living with a wife and 2 kids, and he seems pretty content, except for the fact that he has to pay rent to the Hulk's inbred offspring. And he has to deal with beatings every day. And also, like Batman, though, he's retired. He is no longer the Wolverine. And according to him, he hasn't used his claws since all the bad guys teamed up and took out all the heroes in the Marvel Universe. So, and basically, the story is our hero returns to action, and he basically goes through a mission and by the end of the story, he ends up facing one of the strongest heroes that use superheroes in that universe. And in Batman's case, it was Superman. In this case, it's Bruce Banner, aka the Hulk. Also, I want to point out that the Archer character does return to kind of help the hero, and in both instances, both Archer characters are handicapped. Green Arrow only has one arm, and Hawkeye is blind, but they both figure out a way to still fire arrows. Okay, continuing on. Post-apocalypse, so pretty much that's what I consider to be a good, solid comparison to Old Man Logan from the DC side of things, and just like it is pretty awesome. First of all, one of the things that I found most enjoyable about it was the setting, which is a post-apocalyptic USA in the Marvel Universe, which is basically the result of one day all the supervillains in the Marvel Universe teamed up and decided to just go full-on assault on all the heroes. And they pretty much end up killing almost everyone and just taking over. Well, I mean, not all the heroes are dead. I mean, Hawkeye's still around. There's a hint that Black Bolt is still around, and of course Logan. And basically, we don't really know about the rest of the world, but the United States has pretty much been divided amongst the bad guys. And for most of the story, and pretty much the basic plot is Hawkeye gets Logan to help him move some dangerous contraband from California all the way to New Babylon, which is formerly known as Washington, D.C., and it's also the Red Skull's territory. And the reason Logan's doing this is because he needs money to help pay the rent for the Hulk clan. So, most of the story, and also one of the other things I loved about this story is that Logan doesn't use his claws for the majority of it. Not until like maybe the final 2 issues, that's when Logan uses his claws. But for the rest of the story, he doesn't at all. And he does feel like urges like he should, but he remembers that he made a vow the night all the X-Men died that he would never be the Wolverine again, and he sticks to that very well. There are several instances where that would be most helpful, but he still doesn't. When he and Hawkeye are stuck in a cavern surrounded by moloids, when they face off against another instance where they have to deal with the symbiote Team Rex, a T-Rex that is possessed by the Venom symbiote, and also when Logan fights the Red Skull, he still doesn't use his claws. So he sticks to it until the final, last 2 issues, where something happens, and I really don't want to say what it is, But although, if you can guess what I'm saying, although you can probably figure it out from the way I'm speaking, but if you do not spoil it. Anyways, pretty much eventually until Logan reaches his breaking point, and he does use the claws again, which just in time for him to finally face off against Bruce Banner, aka the Hulk, who is now crazy. All right, and and although one of the things that I love about Wolverine, I'm pretty sure everyone does, is how he is basically his berserker attack, where he just lets loose, cuts up all his enemies with his claws. But I had a lot of fun seeing Logan without using his claws, not because he couldn't, but because he didn't want to. So I thought that was definitely something I enjoyed. Overall, I would consider this one of the best Wolverine stories I've ever read. Yes, it's an Elseworlds type of tale. It's an alternate future, but since Secret Wars, Old Man Logan has now taken the place of the 616 Wolverine. Since he's dead, Logan, as a result of Secret Wars, survived, is now on the regular Marvel Universe. So, and he also has his own ongoing title by Jeff Lemire, which if you haven't read yet, check it out. It's awesome. But more on point, I won't stick to this. This story, very awesome. Also, if you liked Mark Millar's Wanted, it kind of has a similar premise to this one in that all the supervillains teamed up, took out all the heroes, and then took over the world. Same premise. Well, it kind of has that similar atmosphere to it. So, except in this case, the villains are actually publicly known, and everyone remembers the superheroes, unlike in Wanted. More to the point, this is a fantastic Wolverine story, and I really recommend this to anyone who enjoys Wolverine. So yeah, if you get the chance, pick it up before you see the final movie. Alright, we covered what I thought about the comic book. Now let's talk about the movie. How could Old Man Logan work as a movie? Well, first of all, the movie, the final Wolverine sequel, they've stated will be rated R, which I think is great. I know that recently people have gotten a lot of opinions because Deadpool as an R-rated movie was very successful now. There's talk that there's going to be more R-rated superhero movies. There's also going to be an R-rated extended cut for home video release for Batman v Superman. My opinion about the overall R-rated superhero movie is that it does work, I think, for certain characters. Other characters, I just don't think it's necessary. You don't need to have an R-rated superhero movie, but for certain characters, I think it helps. And in Wolverine's case, I definitely think it does help, especially for this story, because I felt like Old Man Logan was also, probably one of the most violent, not violent in a bad way, but like most violent, really cool fight to see in a sense. Like, I mean, they got like really violent at some points, and I think that it was pretty good for the story, and especially when Wolverine finally unleashed his claws after waiting that entire story. When you get to that moment where he just takes out his claws, you're like, oh, it's going down, and just like that. And so I really think that an R-rated Wolverine movie means that he can definitely be as hardcore violent as he is in the comics, depending on who's writing and who's drawing and how much they're willing to do it. So, violent. So I guess whether or not they can have Logan do certain things while he's fighting. I think now it's definitely going to help. So yeah. So I think an R rating. So if they are going to do Old Man Logan, then I think an R rating will definitely be appropriate for it. Okay. Also, the setting of Old Man Logan. Even though I love the post-apocalyptic Marvel United States, I don't think they're going to do that. Mainly because there's a lot of Easter eggs and references to the Marvel Universe that Fox can't use because they only have the rights to the X-Men and also Fantastic Four. However, they've stated that Fantastic Four and X-Men are in their own separate universes. So or the final fight with the Hulk, I think they're probably going to use someone else, and I think that the character they should use, but okay, before I get to that, I'm going to say that the post-apocalyptic Marvel USA, I don't really think they can do that either with the X-Men film rights. I mean, yeah, there are a few cool bad guys, Magneto, Apocalypse, Mr. Sinister, just to name a few, but I don't think that they'll be too much of a threat that they'll basically, Apocalypse maybe, but I think they're just going to keep him around for the next movie, Age of X-Men Apocalypse, but then after that, maybe there's going to be some reason we're not going to see Apocalypse in the future. So I really don't think we're going to have like the huge post-apocalyptic Marvel universe. However, though, I do think that back to what I was saying earlier about how there won't be a final fight with the Hulk. Too bad. We all want to see Wolverine fight the Hulk. I know. I would love that. But unfortunately, they can't do it. So I think the perfect character that they should use for the final big, huge climactic fight for Logan's final movie should be Sabretooth. Particularly the Liev Schreiber version that we saw in X-Men Origins Wolverine, because his Sabretooth was a lot better than the one we got in X-Men 1. Okay, don't get me wrong, X-Men 1 is an awesome movie, is a better movie compared to X-Men Origins, but I do like Liev Schreiber's Sabretooth a whole lot better. Sabretooth, yeah, he's basically Wolverine who finally gave into the animal instinct and is much more savage, but there's no reason why we can't see that in Schreiber's Sabretooth. In fact, there is a cool way they could kind of tie... I have a theory that they could use that to kind of tie into Sabretooth's totally different appearance in X-Men 1. Okay, so basically after X-Men Origins Wolverine, Victor Creed kind of left, and I think after that he kind of... And of course Logan lost his memories. Now, I think if Logan had retained his memories, he probably would have gone after Creed. But since Logan didn't have his memories, he just kind of wandered around. Eventually, Creed couldn't find him. So, eventually Creed did find him at the beginning of X-Men 1. But I think up to that point, he couldn't. And eventually, without Logan to be like his focusing point to kind of keep him going, Creed kind of maybe regressed and finally gave into his animal instincts. And eventually, he probably killed a bunch of people. Actually, that's not even a theory. I'm pretty sure he did kill a bunch of people for the hell of it. And eventually he's found by Magneto. And Magneto kind of like, helps him out and also locates Wolverine for him. Probably that's why he sent Sabretooth in the first place. So that Sabretooth could kill, basically so that Magneto... That's probably how Magneto got Sabretooth to work for him. Probably by telling him, if you go get me Rogue, I'll help you find Logan so you can kill him. And I think after the battle of the Statue of Liberty, probably that's when Sabretooth kind of like is starting to put it together, because unlike Logan, he does remember everything. It's just it's probably gonna be easier for him because he wasn't shot in the head with an adamantium bullet. So I think probably when Creed fell, the shock and his healing factor may have restored his memories, and he's probably like, holy crap, that's my half brother Logan. I hate that guy. I want to kill him now. Okay, and that's basically my theory, because Schreiber's version was much more cold and calculating, and also, so I think he would probably be the perfect final foe. Since this will be the final Wolverine movie for Hugh Jackman, they should have Sabretooth, because Sabretooth is Wolverine's archenemy. All right, okay, but more to the point, how this could work. Well, I think this is also another thing about Old Man Logan that they could also use. The character of Logan. At the beginning, we have a Wolverine who's living a quiet life. He's retired. He's no longer a superhero. He's living with his He's got a nice quiet life with his family. I think that would be a good way to kind of set up this movie. It would be a big contrast for Logan, who in the past, at the beginning of the movies, he's tortured by not remembering his past, or he remembers something but he can't put it together. So I think it'll be interesting just to see if a Logan who like wakes up in bed with his wife and he's not tortured by it. He's content. He's happy. Instead of focusing on his lost past, he is enjoying living in the moment. Until one day Logan comes home from, I guess, his lumberjack job. I'm only basing that off of the job he had in Origins. And he comes back home. He notices the door is busted open. And suddenly he like senses some sort of smell. Again, he has heightened senses. And it's a familiar scent to him, but he can't quite place it. And then he runs in the house and he finds his family slaughtered, dead. And on the wall, written in blood, is "Happy Birthday, Jimmy." Now, okay, yeah, that, again, R-rated movie, so they can be as dark as they want. So, and I kind of got the idea of "Happy Birthday, Jimmy" from this idea in the comics, with that Sabretooth always tracks Wolverine down and fights him on his birthday, and that's also the day that Sabretooth killed Logan's first love, Silver Fox. so that's kind of like a fun little Easter egg. And of course, Logan's surprised that someone's calling him Jimmy, because now, again, Logan probably doesn't remember this, but doesn't remember everything else. But if you remember in Days of Futures Past, the girl he was with called him Jimmy. So I think that's probably like an idea, like he was once called Jimmy, and it's probably someone from his past who's come back to finally get their revenge on him. So naturally, Logan returns to the X-Mansion and goes to see Charles Xavier to finally help him remember who he is, to finally remember it. And at this point, Logan's like, I don't care what you have to do to my mind, Chuck. Just rip it open, look in, tell me who this guy could possibly be. Help me get something to lead me in the right direction, the guy who killed my family. Of course, I'm referencing Xavier because Patrick Stewart is the only other X-Men actor who is confirmed to return. So, after Logan goes and sees Charles Xavier and like maybe recovers most of his memories and finally starts to piece things together, I'm not saying Logan instantly knows that this is Victor Creed. I'm just saying like maybe he gets enough memories that he can kind of at least get a trail together and follow it to figure out where this guy is. And while Logan's searching, we could also get this search couldn't just lead him just to the United States. It could lead him to other places, and again, since this is Old Man Logan, it could take place in the future. And I think it would be fun to see and again, this could kind of be like the final movie of the entire X-Men franchise that started with X-Men 1, which would be pretty neat. So Logan pretty much is going on this search, and we could see some interesting places, like they did kind of have like the interesting sort of setups they had in like the different territories we saw in the Old Man Logan story arc. In this case, it could lead into different significant points in the X-Men universe, such as Genosha, the country that was eventually taken over by Magneto and used as a safe haven for mutants. That would be a cool place to see, and also maybe some more Weapon X facilities. But again, ultimately, this all leads into a final confrontation with Sabretooth and no holds, winner-take-all cage match. Well, not technically a cage, but, cage match between Wolverine and Sabretooth. Like, nothing's held back. They both really, really try. Like, seriously, it would be, like, really bloody because, again, they both have healing factors, so it is going to be extremely difficult. They would have to really rip into each other to kill the other. So, So overall, this is just nothing is confirmed, but again, this is all just my opinion, just some insane theories I have. Liev Schreiber isn't confirmed to return. He is reportedly in talks to reprise his role of Sabretooth, but so far, the studio hasn't really made any official decisions about this. So, Fox, if you're watching this, please bring back Liev Schreiber's Sabretooth. He was awesome. That's something that I'm pretty sure the fans would love to see. I mean, this is going to be Hugh Jackman's final Wolverine movie. I don't know about you guys, but Hugh Jackman as Wolverine is definitely one of my favorite live-action comic book character portrayals. I am very sad that this is going to be his final movie, but I'm also really excited because Hugh Jackman does love his fans. Love his fans, and I'm pretty sure he's going to want to do right by, and he has stated he wants to do right by the Wolverine character. So I think using Old Man Logan, even though it won't be a direct adaptation, but I think using certain elements of that story arc in this movie is definitely fitting, and it will probably be perhaps one of the best Wolverine movies ever. So yeah, what do you guys think about my opinions? Do you agree or disagree? What do you want to see in the final Wolverine movie? Let me know in the comments below. Also, I am still running a t-shirt poll for what t-shirt am I going to wear for the Batman v Superman movie premiere. I did make a video where you can comment telling me which type of shirt I should wear, Superman, Batman. Links is definitely going to be posted in the description below. Again, thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing to my channel and staying subscribed, even though it's kind of been a while since I've posted a video, but I'm trying to get back to a weekly schedule. Thank you. So thank you again for watching. I'm Spider-Man 1991 saying, see you later.